Blair and I stand alongside our desk. Oh my god. When you said you're going to wear a beanie, I didn't think it would be that. What, is that Pikachu?
I think so, isn't it? It is Pikachu. I couldn't find a beanie, Vince. I couldn't find a beanie. Everyone's sporting a beanie. I wanted to wear a beanie. I couldn't find a beanie. I found this. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how. I just did.
You know, it suits you. You should probably just cast with that on all the time. Right, it's really good.
I thought you were a friend, but okay.
I am.
All right.
I am. I'm saying it suits you. Anyway, let's
maybe...
the
decapitated head of an animal on my head. Yes, that's pretty metal if you think about it, Vince. So yes. Anyway, Counter-Strike.
This has gone horribly wrong. Right, as did the first map. Let's get this back on track. First map went horribly wrong for Cyberstorm Blue, but now it is the choice of Dignitas. So I was thinking, okay, maybe we can get a bit optimistic. It's Train next Blair, and I'm not sure I saw enough in that first map to make me believe that the comeback is possible.
Yeah, I won't lie. Dust 2 being the map pick coming on in, and just the fact that they were completely outplayed. Train being the map pick. Look, when you're kind of like the underdog team, you don't necessarily have a very deep map pool compared to, let's say, an opponent like a Dignitas or a CLG Red. And Train as a map for me personally will heavily favor the overdog, so to speak, right? A team who's come in more prepared. You require the right protocols, you require the right spacing, the right approach. At T-side, especially if you don't have any ideas, you can just... It can spiral out of control. You can be mentally completely blank at one point in time where you're like, where do I even go? How do I even exit like T-mains or even brown halls for that matter? And I hope that's not going to come to pass here. They do at least have the advantage, Vince, of picking the CT side. So maybe that's something to work with.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, CT side, maybe they can get a bit of stability. They won their CT side pistol and then they lost the P250s. We'll try and forget that as soon as possible. The thing that they definitely do also need to forget is just how dominant Milk was in that first map. I'm not sure she'll be able to rinse and repeat another 30 bomb. Showdown, a player that the desk was touching on, maybe needs to show us a few hands here as to what she's capable of doing. She had a very good Dust 2 performance, as did Rain. So it's not as if it was just a one-hit wonder with Milk. There's actually a lot of supporting cast also helping them out. But yeah, maybe on the CT side, they can get things established. Kimmy had some really good rounds with the AWP, but she typically just got kind of utilized out of the rounds from flashes, as Miss Harvey showed on the desk. I'm just curious if maybe they get that stability in play, get the AWPs in play, then maybe they can show us something that we can get excited about.
Yeah, for sure. The problem is we haven't seen Thea step up yet, and she is, for me, at the very least, the most dangerous player on the side of Dignitas, right? And she really didn't have a chance. Like you pointed out, it was Milk and everyone else on that team really just popping off, as we are going to be jumping in straight into Train here, Vince. It is going to be Dig on the T side as expected. A lot of utility being purchased, though. We do have a couple of smokes, a Molotov, a couple of flashbangs as well. No P250s, though. And it looks like it's going to be a fast play coming in towards Pop.
Yeah, hot and heavy outside Pop and Main. They've smoked off Kimmy. She is trying her best to stay alive on the site. They're automatically just going in for the full-on force on the plant. They're not even faking it. Have ruthless confidence that they're able to get this done. The block drive-bys are good. It's back and forth, but Thea comes out second best in Pop Dog. A very low and weakened Snowy, who was top fragger for Cyberstorm Blue in the first map. Now trying to shoulder peek in for an instant tap. Lots of damage done, and Snowy actually comes out ahead in that trade. And now Showdown in a bit of trouble. She's in an awkward position. The USP's whiffing all the bullets, and there's a grenade. Perfectly lands, but they have no kit. There should be enough time, though, for Cyberstorm Blue to pick up the pistol again.
That is nuts. I'm speechless. I am honestly speechless because I have no idea how Snowy did not die. She was bleeding out. She was bleeding and limping and somehow dodges all the bullets like Keanu Reeves and somehow gets the kill as well. And of course, like you said, the nade. The nade at the end. That was like a nade from the heavens. What a round. It was a statement coming out from Dig there, but that 2v3 retake, which should have never have gone the way of Cyberstorm Blue, somehow it works out.
Force buy in, though. Dignitas post-plant affords them 3 rifles. Molotov instantly put in from Bouchard on ramp. Allows Kimmy to come in and throw a secondary incendiary behind it. They will be pushing behind that incendiary, and that's to their demise. They're taking tons of damage from Kimmy, and now Giraffe up on top of Catwalk sprays into Milk. That puts it down on Rain and Emily. This has been an excellent hold by Cyberstorm Blue. They have control over the bomb.
They do. And now Rain, no Kevlar. She probably wants to swap weapons with Emily here. An aim punch could be quite problematic, and you want to give the rifle in the hands of someone who can at least absorb a few bullets before the aim just goes all over the place. That's what Emily does here. I like Cyberstorm Blue not being too over-eager. They have every angle covered off. They have connected control. They have a player Smiley with a scout peering towards back of Ivy, and 3 players sitting on the bomb. So this is going to be virtually impossible, an impregnable defense of this bomb by Cyberstorm Blue. However, they do take quite a bit of damage, but they should be coming out on top here. The AK-47 has been neutralized, and Rain's going to be left alone, 17 HP. Don't really see a rule which is going to be able to come out on top. There you go, Vince. She gets a kill, but that's about it.
Yeah, that was all about damage limitation at the end on the side of the CTs, making sure that they didn't lose any of those players. But now that they have repelled that force buy and no second post plant came into effect, they will be up against an ecoed up Dignitas. And this is really where they can get those SMGs and the bullets down range. Potentially take a 3-0 and very comfortably so. There are P250s though in the hands of Dignitas, and they've got a bit of utility behind it. So Cyberstorm Blue still need to navigate their way through this round with as little cost as possible.
Okay, a couple of whiff shots from Smiley. Just a reminder of that one round, Vince, where they had P250s and Scout against rifles, and they all survived. Milky's gonna drop on down. What? Oh, Milk. That's rough. She survives. She gets tagged. She drops down, breaks her ankle. She's on 10 HP, and then Sholiana, her own teammate, shoots her in the head. Like, how much can a player take?
Yeah, that's one they're going to want to forget real quick. Here it is, bang. Oh, it doesn't even make sense. Like, was there a call that one was spools? I don't even understand it. But hey, you know what? It actually was a pretty good shot, Sholiana. So listen, nice aim, just wrong target.
Wrong target indeed. And now for Cyberstorm, it's a bit of what we'd like to call the bonus round here. And they've done a very good job. And if you look at it, they've kept the majority of players alive the past couple of rounds, haven't suffered too many casualties. You can see the money is blossoming for a number of these players. Smiley with the scout though, and the MP9 in the hands of Snowy. Now, Snowy is playing from the lower ramp. She's playing pretty aggressively, and that's fine because she's got Bouchard with the FAMAS playing all the way back towards comms. For Dig though, it's a full investment. It's 5 AK-47s, a truckload of utility. They're taking this sweet time though. Still a minute on the clock. They've been doing a pretty decent job just drawing out a bit of utility from the CTs, but now they need to go for a play. They need to at least gather some information. Look at the timing on this from Snowy. Just the MP9, Vincent. She's going to get the kill, and she's gathering so much information as well.
Yeah, this is excellent. It'll keep them pivoted in as well. They're not sure if they're about to get peeked from Pop Dog. But if they lose all of their defenders on the site, it may not end up mattering. Giraffely's next to fall. Smiley with the 5-7 makes it work, but she's been tacked down heavy, and there comes the pincer play. Snowy double spray onto Rain and Sholiana. That's a 4-0 lead on Dignitas' choice of map.
They were looking for a tale of redemption on this map. And yeah, this is a start they needed. Snowy, what a play. What a play. And that's how you want to play a round like that, right, Vince? Like you have an MP9, you have a FAMAS, a scout, not the best of weaponry compared to what the teams possess, and you go for a few calculated risks. And this time around, those risks paid out perfectly. The timing from Snowy to get the kill onto the player up top towards the bathrooms area. She drops on down, peers out from Pop Dog at the perfect moment, getting the double spray down. It couldn't have been better. And they take 2 AKs as well, unless I'm not mistaken. To the next round, the AWP is going to be coming out into the hands of Kimmy. And for Dig, while they could have forced it out, I think they're going to be playing this a bit safe. It's still early days, still 4-0. But Cyberstorm, this is the perfect start for them.
No doubt. They've suppressed a lot of these hot elements from the first map pretty convincingly. A bit of deja vu from the opener of Dust 2, which went 5-0 to Dignitas. Cyberstorm Blue now have the opportunity to return the favor. Snowy smoked down onto Ivy side, now peeking through onto main. That smoke obviously isn't a brick wall, so she can't completely assume that there will be no push imminent. And there's 4 players down there for the T's. Now, keep in mind, there are Tech 9s in play. There's a Deagle. There's a lot of ability and firepower that could be put down range onto Snowy. 1-for-1 trade may not be good enough. They need Giraffe to stand tall, but she goes down. It's another 1-for-1. But now the superior weaponry is coming to the forefront, leaving Rain in a 1-on-3. She's getting the first. Has Kevlar behind this AK. So this round is not necessarily over, but now it certainly is. Bouchard, M4 headshot. 5-0 start for Cyber Blue. What a beautiful turnaround.
Absolutely. And even though they lose 3 players in scenarios like this, I'll be like, yeah, that got a little messy. But because the earlier rounds, they won those rounds pretty convincingly, especially that bonus round, their money's not rough at all. You have 2 players in an average of 5K, 2 other players with an average of about $3,500. Not bad at all. They have at least 1 full-fledged buy still in the bank, in the piggy bank. So they're going to be feeling very comfortable. The buy going to be coming in once more for Dig. This time around, though, the little difference is Emily's got her weapon of choices. The AWP, the IGL, tossing in utility for her teammates. They're going to be going for a pretty standard take here by the looks of things, and it's going to be Milk once more leading the charge, and Snowy going to be the first line of defense.
Been flashed multiple times, actually looked away from her screen like she'd kind of accepted her fate. It's 3 kills in quick succession, and Dignitas really spin this round on its head. Milk switches a bit too prematurely, maybe assuming that kill was hers. Not the case, and now Smiley is going to be the last woman standing over on Cyberstorm Blue. She gets the flashbang to mitigate the effects of it, though, but there's 2 players facing her, and Thea comes alive with the kill. Dignitas only lose 1 player. They can now start to mount that pressure back onto Cyberstorm Blue, who call a timeout straight away.
They do indeed. And Milk once more just pretty much had a bit of a tiny sabbatical there in the first 5 rounds, but it seems like she's back to her usual ways, just taking heads, asking no questions. And I like the timeout being called by Cyberstorm Blue here. They've had a fantastic start, perhaps the best start they could have hoped for. Sure, they lose this 1 round, but it's okay. They still have that money in the bank, and they can easily go for a pretty solid buy. The question is what they do with this, because this was a very classic take from Dignitas, right? It wasn't anything too crazy events. They weren't trying to go for any ruses, no fakes, nothing. Just went for the smoke execute. They walked out towards all off, just going in towards Sandwich, and Milk just being enabled by her teammates with all those beautiful flashbangs. The first 2 kills, the first 2 series, they were blind for days. There was nothing they could do. So a little bit of tactical timeout to get a breather and to figure out how they're going to be handling a hit like that again.
They decide to go for some aggression straight through onto A main. Rain is there waiting, sees a pixel of the leg of Smiley around the corner, but still doesn't quite react in time. Excellent turnaround from the CTs. The perfect answer, really, after the timeout comes into play, and Milk, who tries to get around the side of the smoke, gets punished. Good spray control from Kimmy, who goes in for 2, showing she doesn't just require an AWP, she can get it done with the rifles too.
That's another great response from Cyberstorm. They're like, all right, you're going to execute? What if we don't allow you space to work with? What if we just push on in and take the fight to you? And that's exactly what they did, and they come out on top there. I feel like the timing was a little bit off between Sholiana and Milk. When Milk walked out from Pop Dog, as Sholiana had peered down towards Team Mid, there was a chance they could have at least got the trade, but take nothing away from Kimmy. That was great work, and now the 2v5, and Bouchard has all the information she needs. However, Thea's going to take her down. Down to 26 HP as Giraffe spots her out. 4v2. Emily with the AWP is still alive, however, and she's going to find 1.
Oh no, Cyberstorm Blue, this is a winnable round now out of nowhere for Dignitas. Thea can smoke off the left-hand side, focus her attention on the right, or indeed pull the plug and help Emily out, but the timing, Giraffe makes the most of it. They have a Molotov, they have it lined up, and there's no smoke to extinguish this. This is time that'll be ticking away. Emily needs to land some flicks, because that Molotov won't last forever. There'll still be time after the molly is cleared. They're sticking on it right now, and it will be the full defusal. And to make matters worse for Dignitas, they lose Emily. 6-1 for Cyberstorm Blue.
It was imperative there for Thea to somehow stay alive for as long as possible, at least get a kill, but yeah, it's hard to be critical because of how low she was. But again, Kimmy here. The timing was a spacing, the timing was a bit off for Milk, and Juliana. And Kimmy, well, she just pounces on it. Great start from her. But Dig, though, they still have enough money in the bank to go for yet another buy. Bear in mind, the one round they won, they lost just to one player, so they did have the residual cash to work with. For the side of Cyberstorm, it's going to be the Scout enhance for Smiley, the AWP for Kimmy, and 3 rifles. Now, Dig have a lot of utility, but they're going to be going for what they did earlier, Vince. Once more, it's going to be just the execute, a little bit of variation in the way the smokes are being deployed. It's going to be Milk. She spots the player out, spots both of them, and Thea and Milk cracking open that A bomb site once more. A little bit of a slight variation in the way they approach it, but pretty much everything remains the same. And again, Dig, they have no answer for it, Vince. And this particular hit, sorry, Cyberstorm rather have no answer for it, and this particular hit is something, if I'm not mistaken, Dig are going to try doing again and again and again until Cyberstorm have a proper reply.
Right. I mean, you look at their health bars, not a single point of damage was taken in that round with a full fast execute. Not a piece of shrapnel, not a bullet, nothing. And so Dignitas will feel very happy about that outcome. I love the tweak that they made. They barely even touched into the likes of Pop Dog. They just went straight for the jugular out onto A side. Kimmy will hold on to an AWP, though, at the cost of Milk's life. So that's a nice little bonus that Cyberstorm Blue can pick up. And it's actually a pretty integral one, because with this save, maybe Bouchard and Snowy can go in for a purchase. It's looking pretty grim, though, if they did. Unlucky not to get the kill on Thea. Although she was tagged, she was not fragged. Very curious if the CTs go for a buy or if they just hold fire.
Decisions. Thea and Milk. Look at the flash assist from Rain. Just like, even though she didn't get any of the first 3 opening kills, just a flashbang, and Thea and Milk, they're like, thank you very much. And to pull it off. And to answer your question, Vince, they have indeed gone for the save. Kimmy with the AWP. And they're all sticking together, all towards outside, which I'm a fan of, right? Like, even if the AWP gets taken down, there are the pistols next to her to at least try and trade or at least try and salvage the AWP into the next round. Unfortunately for them, and this has happened a couple of times, a few times in Dust 2 as well, whenever they go for a stack, I don't know what it is with Emily, but she seems to have the perfect read and always enters the site that's bereft of any sneaky presence.
That's a great trade. Draftly getting the frag onto Sholiana. Now, she can't get her hands on the AK. As the second player showed their presence, that will be Emily up on box halls. But now if they can just quell the AWP in the hands of Kimmy, I don't know if they'll have enough to replenish that buy into the next round, and it's a complete shutdown. It is a great call, and I think it may be a case of reverse psychology here, Blair. It's like, you know, we mentioned this before. Look at how easy they took A site. Look how quick it was. Look how seamless it was. So Cyberstorm Blue have it in their head thinking, okay, they might just do it again. Emily's like, nah, we're hitting B instead. We're going to keep you on your tiptoes.
It is a ballsy call as well, right? When you're heading towards B, of course they had a nice hit there with utility and everything, but there's always a high risk that it could be 4 CTs just lying in wait in close quarters. We've seen so many teams just lose out there, but a confident call, and here we go. It is indeed going to be the B stack, and Sholiana conveys information, and I'm not sure about that from Milk. Pushing on in, Thea tosses in a Molotov to prevent them from picking up those AKs quickly, and now they're going to be heading towards outside, where there is one player kind of lying in wait, Bouchard, but no, she's going to be falling on back. And the inner stack, it does work out. They're going to retrieve a couple of rifles, and considering that Snowy, Smiley, Bouchard, they have the Kevlar, and they have the player advantage, they could go for this, Vince.
Right, and the bomb just got planted, so it's not as if you're already looking at half of the fuse tick down. They've got time. They can go in for this speculative kind of dip their toe in the water. If they get a kill, they can fully commit. They have smokes and flashes. If they don't, they can pull the plug. But Thea, forever on the prowl with the AK, gets a double spray. And we're starting to see what she's capable of now. She may get caught in an awkward position. The bomb is getting diffused in amongst the smoke. The P250's tapping in. This could be a full 10-second diffusal. Surely not like this. Cyberstorm Blue have stolen this away.
No way to pull that off. Oh, just absolute dejection and disappointment in Emily's face. No words. No words spoken. That was a disaster, Vince. That was an absolute disaster.
Oh, and it's one that you kind of saw coming to a degree. I mean, you said they had the pieces, they had the rifles, they had a bit of utility, and they had time. But you still don't think it's going to happen for them. Good grenades to kick the round off, but Kimmy is equal to the task and goes above and beyond. Big AWP frag, but what an entry from Rain. That was lightning.
Perfect flash assist from Emily as well. We haven't really seen this from Dig, Vince, in all honesty. On Dust 2, they were pretty much flawless. Untrained, the pistol round, for example, that was something they should have won, in my opinion. There was a bit of a slip up there, but this has been the biggest slip up we've seen so far from Dig in this entire series, which is kind of crazy. Smiley being aggressive, pushing ahead of the flashbang. Great work, leaving Thea and Emily in a 2v4. Make that a 1v2 as Emily's going to fall, and Thea, she's got to get the 4K to clutch this one out in a 1v2.
Going with another one, 1v1. They know roughly where each other are. Smiley round the corner is faster. The rallying cry is called. Cyberstorm Blue very happy with this start. And why wouldn't they be after getting hammered on Dust 2? They're looking like the better team here on Train.
They are indeed. And 2 4Ks back-to-back, 8 kills in 2 rounds for Smiley. The first round, they had just the pistols, and she gets a 4K there, winning an unwinnable round. And this was coming down to the 1v1. She again gets a 4K. So 2 crucial rounds for her to just pop off. And Snowy now jumping on towards the bomb train. I like this from Kimmy. Being a little bit more proactive, being a little bit more upfront with her AWP, gathering information. But she's not going to stick around for long, which is curious. She has 4 of her teammates towards outside. And once again, Vince, it's happening again. It is the hit, which has netted them a couple of rounds. Once more, this time around, at least Bouchard replies back. Finds 2. And a man advantage for Cyberstorm Blue.
Yeah, the tweak has been put into position. They played way more passively, way more deep with their defense, and it's worked wonders. Bouchard already with 3. He's joined now with Giraffely up against Emily. She's picked off 1. They last heard the AWP rattle off around A main. Bomb in an awkward position. Emily been in these positions many times in the past. She's come out ahead so often. Now, can she add another one to the belt? Switching to the AK, that would have made some sound cues. They know exactly where she is, and they double peek. Excellent hold by Cyberstorm Blue again.
Great work. Bouchard especially, just being the rock, being a turret on that A bomb side. And finally, they find a reply. It was them playing the anti-flash. They did get the opening kill on a Snowy on the bomb train, but then great reply from Bouchard, just jumping around the bomb train, being unpredictable, unpinnable, and just winning every one of the duels. 9-3, Vince. That's a hell of a lead. And Milk now trying to speed things up, but it's all a ruse. The hit's going to be coming into its inner, but Bouchard, she lies in wait. Molotov to keep them at bay for a second, and that's going to force them to come running on out, and Bouchard is being quite a thorn indeed. Finally gets taken down, and Kimmy spots Rain's head, her scalp, right over the top of that ledge. And now it's down to Showdown on the bomb side. Her teammates far, far away, and Emily only has a Tech 9. She's trying to go in for the wraparound, Vince. But for how long can Showdown defend this bomb side all by a lonesome?
That's the question, isn't it? Emily needs a pivot to come into play from, needs a foundation to strike, and now they'll both show their hand. Bomb is ticking away. Such an integral moment in this map. Dignitas now have the player advantage. Snowy, all alone, spins around for the first, but the bomb is ticking away ever so quickly. She does have a kit, but she doesn't have any utility, and now she is out of time and out of health. Come the end of this map, end of this best of 3, Blair, that could be the round that kicked everything into gear for Dignitas on Train.
That could be the round, and we were asking how long can Sholiana defend that bomb side, and she showed how long. This was so well played. A missed shot. That was the difference. Kimmy missing a shot with the AWP, and Emily striking at the perfect opportunity from behind from the cons. It was a brave call, Vince, and it works out. It was a very shabby buy coming up from Dig. They make it work, and now Cyberstorm Blue, they're on the receiving end now. They have to deal with they have to work with, rather, just the pistols. They're going to go for the nade stack towards mid, but Dig, they had a bit of a read. They completely avoided. And now they're going to be inching their way towards this outer bomb side where it is only one lone soul trying to hold the line. It's all in Snowy.
Snowy melted by the Molotov and finished off by the Galil. Another molly behind it, and Thea spraying into the smoke, knowing there could be multiple CTs laid in wait. This is looking like the most convincing of the rounds for Dignitas, alongside that fast A execute earlier on. And Milk, who has had a bit of a slower time of it on Train, has just put a big grenade down range, chunks the HP bars of the remaining 3 players. No reason to save, of course. They want some exits. And now that Milk has been dinked, she's like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to lose my AK-47. We've already got the round under wraps. So 9-5 will be the score. And if Dignitas could come back for a 9-6, that's really not a bad T-half at all, especially considering at one point they trailed 9-3.
Indeed, 9-3 was looking fantastic for Cyberstorm, right? If they were able to like make it a 12-3 scoreline, they would have been elated. But that's the thing with Train, Vince. Even a 12-3 scoreline on the CD side, sometimes it's not enough. It's kind of like Nuke of old, right? Where a 12-3 scoreline was kind of standard on the CT side. I feel that's similarly a case here on Train as well. And for Dig, if they get to 6 rounds, it has been a hell of a recovery. In fact, I might even say with 6 rounds, they're going to be more than happy with it. They're going to be very confident of being able to work with that. And Cyberstorm Blue now, weaponry not that great, and they're going to be going for the aggro play. Flashbang's not going to be popping on in, they're just going to be charging on in. And perfect flashbang actually from Kimmy, finding Thea, and a follow-up kill onto Milk as well. That's great aggression. That's great proactiveness of Cyberstorm in the final round of this first half.
Yeah, but impressed with Snowy's ability to open up some of these areas and effectively get entries. Sholiana holds on. Bouchard's inferior weapon shines bright against the AK, unfortunately. Cyberstorm Blue keep that one player over on B. That will be Kimmy. He's had a lot of work to do with these rifles and is typically passed with flying colors. But this 3-on-3 now seems like the final destination will be the A site, where 2 CTs are waiting, but they're more passively placed, Blair.
They are. Giraffely. Oh, the FAMAS. Oh, that's rough indeed. Rain survives in 2 HP, Vince. 2v3 retake. They don't have a kit. They have 1 Molotov. And while they're aware of the position of at least one of the players, I don't think they're aware of where all 3 of them are. Smiley's going to come walking on in. And Rain, looking the wrong way, gets caught out. And now it's a 2v2. It's winnable.
Winnable. Lack of utility, though. And Kimmy's all alone. Has to tickle the bomb. Hope the T's come out and give Raptor some free frags. There's the first. Low HP Sholiana needs to be oh so careful. But if she gets Kimmy off the bomb, the round is over. And she'll just put the bullet in the head. Get it done nice and quick. 9-6. Cyberstorm Blue, a much better performance on Train, but Dignitas breathing down their necks. A marked improvement for Cyberstorm Blue, but Dignitas mounted a comeback towards the end, Blair, and it puts them in close proximity. This pistol could be do or die for Cyberstorm Blue. We already mentioned that 6 rounds on T side could very well be enough.
It could very well be enough, and if Dig managed to clinch it out, yeah, I could see a world, I could see a reality where Dig just roll with it and just finishes off like a 16-11, 16-10 scoreline. But the pistols, it has some of them have been favoring Cyberstorm Blue. We've seen some miraculous rounds coming out from them. Milk making contact. And Cyberstorm Blue, what are they going to do? Are they going to just go for the full commit? She spots a couple of feet. Going to be playing aggressive. Look at the rotation. Look at the rotation from the CT spins. All 4 players pushing on in, and Thea's going to be making contact. Finds one, gets traded, but all the CTs charging on in, and they are just slaughtering the members of Cyberstorm Blue. The bomb, it does get planted, but I do believe that's all they're going to find as Rain deals the final blow. I feel Cyberstorm took a little too long there to go for the commit once they got spotted out, or maybe they needed a plan B.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit of indecision kind of crept in, paralysis by analysis perhaps, and kind of overthinking things, but Dignitas with a solid retake. However, was a post-plant. Giraffely got it down just before being fragged out, so there are some opportunities available. We saw when Dignitas got early plants, they did pull the trigger and go for their rifle, so we'll see if Cyberstorm Blue decide to go as aggressively, or if they're happier to just basically tap out for this. I've called a tactical timeout probably to have this very conversation right now. Let's see what they come up with.
Still got a couple remaining, and they would probably want to use each and every one of them here. Because I do believe, you know, it is an elimination game after all. It's going to be entering the playoffs, pretty much starting tomorrow, rather the consolidation final tomorrow. So yeah, it's basically do or die right now for the side of Cyberstorm Blue, and they do have a little bit of a lead. It's a slim lead, and I like this. I like this, Vince. They're playing the numbers game. They know they have a 2-round lead. It's okay. They could let this one slip by. If they can get a bomb down, deal a bit of damage, that's a win already in their eyes. And it's just about playing with the advantage. They're going to have the superior weaponry. It's going to be the AK-47s facing off against the FAMASs, the MP9s, and the M4s as well. So I like this. I like this call from Cyberstorm Blue.
Yeah, you have the advantage. Don't necessarily have to go all in. Give Dignitas the perfect opportunity to build up a really solid economy early on. Damage has been inflicted to both Smiley and Giraffely. The first of which was through Main, and secondly on Ivy, where 4 of the T's are currently sat, and Rain takes an insta-dink. So as much as she would have liked to have put her feet in the ground and just posted up for a spray, she actually has to run away. She has one of the M4s, and that's way too valuable to lose.
Indeed, it is quite valuable indeed, but okay. It looked like for a moment there, Giraffely actually landed a headshot. In fact, it was Emily. A little bit of a quick switch to the player's POV, catching me off guard, but it's okay for Cyberstorm Blue. It's no big loss, and for Dignitas, not losing a single player, that's great. I expect something aggressive from Dig here. I expect something a little unorthodox, a little in your face, something to catch Cyberstorm off guard because of the inferior weaponry they have. They need to try and somehow make it work in their favor.
That's precisely what Cyberstorm Blue did on their CT side. It was Snowy that pushed up with the MP9, right, and wrapped round the back, and then ended up getting a triple kill from Pop Dog. And we both said, oh, they played it so well, like they're using the weapons to their utmost advantages, their strengths. Dignitas seem a bit more confident in their ability to stand and shoot at range with these M4s and FAMASs. They're actually playing Thea alone with the MP9 over on B. It is up close on the ramp, where it can be a real nuisance and nightmare. But this split approach from Cyberstorm Blue, they're keeping Bouchard over on Ivy. They have Kimmy, who's towards the A main side, now joining the rest of the troops pushing through the bathroom. So it seems like this will be ending on B with a flank play coming in through Bouchard. The question is, how many kills, if any, can Thea post up? Or how much time can she stall before the inevitable push comes in?
Well, she stalled him for a bit, but they're not going to waste any time. Just charging on out straight through the smoke, and Thea standing in the flames, an absolute lunatic, Vince. And she's still going to find 2. Burning, blinded, doesn't quite matter. Sholiana coming in from behind, trying to finish it off, but Smiley finds her. Now, Bouchard from the backlines. They can get the bomb down. The question is, are they aware of the position of Milk? No, they're not. Round's done. Round's done, Vince. Even if Bouchard gets the kill, how is she going to reclaim the bomb? How is she going to play the 1v3? This looks like it's a donezo. And Dig, they should be tying things up.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Bouchard. She seems like a very intelligent player. Like, whenever you see her moving and kind of the angles that she utilizes, she's always on point with them. But as you say, they've not really given her enough to feed off. Like, 20 seconds to go when that 1v4 came into play. She did a good job to take 2 weapons away, to be completely honest with you. And now it's down to a 9 scoreline. But Cyberstorm Blue, I don't really have any economy to put behind it. And this is the lunatic play. The baby-faced assassin of Thea sprays through with a 3K at the end. Very well played with the MP9. Love that.
Absolutely. She just didn't let them feel comfortable, right? Get comfortable. They were like, oh, it's just a smoke, just going to flash away through it. We're going to toss a Molotov. And Thea's like, yeah, no, not going to happen. Oh, that is chunky damage. Love it. And now they're going to come charging on in, and it's going to be Farm City here for Thea and her teammates. Kimmy.
Oh, dear.
Oh?
Oh, could be a plant. That's a huge W, honestly, for Cyberstorm Blue. They had no right to get that plant down, especially as Dignitas had tons of players there to welcome them. So even though they had a bit of an awkward, it was a gravity kill onto Kimmy, and Dignitas will take the lead. At least the post plant gives them a better buy. They have 2 players with over $7,000 now.
They do indeed. The problem being, Vince, the only number which really matters is Dig are in the lead, which is something that hasn't been the case here so far in this game. We can see Emily even letting out a little bit of a smile there, because they know that they are right now in control. Cyberstorm Blue. Oh, that's a great opening. That is a great opening indeed. Sholiana just trying to dance her way out from Connector, but Kimmy says no, shuts it down, and that's first blood drawn by the T side.
It's a great way to wipe that smile off the face, isn't it? Insta-frag comes in, but it's countered by Milk, who is looking for more, but double spray from Rain with the AK. Back towards Ivy, making this round hurt and very costly for the T's. Bouchard, last player standing, but is stuck in A main with the rifle by her side. No control over the bomb, and only a Molotov as company. Speaking of Molotov, she's now been forced out from the liquid fire. But Dignitas looking very good to take that 11-9. And we're getting into that point as well, Blair. That's going to be 5 unanswered rounds, most of which have looked very straightforward for Dignitas.
Yeah, you look at that opening that Kimmy was able to get, and then you're like, okay, here we go. And then, yeah, Milk and Rain strike in tandem. Emily as well finishing it off with the AWP, and this is starting to be a little worrisome, Vince. They haven't got a single round yet on this T side. They've had a couple of opportunities with the rifles as well. And what's worrying for me is the fact that none of the rounds so far on this T side have been close, right? Not a single one of them. That's what's worrying. And, well, they have another opportunity here. They have all the utility. The only thing missing right now is the AWP for Kimmy. But they have the AKs. They have a Galil as well. And Snowy taking control of Brown Halls. I gotta say, Thea has been a goddess in a bomb site. They can pretty much forget the B bombs that exist for the rest of her teammates, because she has been fantastic with the way she's just working around with her utility around the bomb site, just being almost nigh unkillable, and at the same time just dealing the pain and the damage into her opponents.
Yeah, she's a great anchor player. Another anchor player I've been very impressed with over this duration of the tournament was actually Jammy. What a chance to cast her yesterday, and the two of them play train B-side very well. Does also help, though, when Thea is not being aggressed on too heavily. Like, the rounds that we've seen have been a bit stagnant and a bit stalled and delayed, and that really plays into a Soul Defender's hands. Now, Molotov, they're out of position, changes angles, goes in for a 1-for-1. Now, Emily has posted up with a, but a good flashbang. Puts her on an awkward spot before she flicks in towards Smiley, and all the support structures come into play. But Kimmy is putting the Galil to use, sprays in for Sholiana, 3-on-3, and it seems like there's a couple players behind enemy lines. Milk, though, forever on the flank, coming down the ramp, and even though they turn around in time, it's not good enough. The headshot is delivered first class, and Kimmy with the Galil can do little but watch As the bomb gets defused alongside her, it's another round to Dignitas.
Clinical stuff. And Milk, I don't know how she survived that. She was spotted out, but instantly flicks around. We're talking about how she was unplayable on Train, and right now, sorry, on Dust 2, what am I talking about? Right now, the entire team's looking like they're unplayable. Everyone's hitting the shots. The retake was fantastic. Can we also compliment the utility usage from Emily? Even though Thea ran out of her Molotov and her smoke early on, Emily was fantastic, providing even more support just with the utility for Thea. She was good for one, and then just perfect timing there with the op to get the kill on the player holding upper. Just fantastic teamwork all around. This is what we saw from them on the T side of Dust 2, and we're seeing what they can do here on the CT side here of Train. 12-9, Vince. And even though Cyberstorm Blue, they get the bomb down, they're gonna get max loss bonus, they can keep buying. They need to win rounds, and that's not happening right now.
Yeah, and at times like this, especially when things are looking a little bit grim, as Emily will get the freebie onto Snowy, this is where a team needs to work together. That cohesiveness needs to really rise to the forefront. You've got to have trust in each other. We saw Kimmy walk out of main all alone, get picked off. Now Smiley pushes alone, gets picked off. Snowy got picked off alone. It just seems like that teamwork aspect that we saw in the early stages of Train has vanished. Things are starting to get a little bit desperate. They're not reacting the best way and putting the best foot forward. This is where I'd like to see a tactical timeout maybe deployed before things get too far gone.
No trade potential in the way they were spread out. They were looking for the aggression, Vince, but just getting flashed in where the members of Dignitas, they were working in pairs as well. Milk doing a good job catching Kim. And yeah, just like they have a contingency plan every time one of the players gets taken down. So Cyberstorm Blue going to be using the third tactical timeout off the map. And if you're a Cyberstorm fan, you hate to see it, but Dig, they seem to be just almost like a juggernaut, you know, slow moving, inexorable, just unstoppable. Just slowly, it's nothing too flashy, it's nothing too crazy, it's just solid Counter-Strike, and they are just not running away, but walking away with this game at the moment.
Yeah, determined, fast pace on that walk. Power strutting, maybe. And Miss Harvey did say on the desk that notoriously Dignitas do start slow on a lot of maps. So we saw that. But once the stability came into place on their first half, T side, they bounced back with 3 or 4 rounds in a row to end the half. And, well, it's been one-way traffic. Simply put, this half is read 7-0 to Dignitas. And it should be 8-0, barring some kind of miracle of one of these pistol players. They have 2 Deags and 3 Tech 9s, but there's a smoke that's been deployed in all of their eyes. And with no extra map control, they're not even sure if Dignitas have gone for an aggressive play.
I have no idea. One smoke, Vince, and the pistols. Now, the pistols we've seen can deal a bit of damage. Rain, timing is everything, and she's gonna find one. She knows they're pushing on out. Bomb has been spotted as well, and backup has arrived. The Brazilian, Joliana, setting up the crossfire. They lose one player, but it's okay. The gun is far away from the grasp of the 2 remaining members of Cyberstorm Blue, and Snowy and Giraffe just biding their time, waiting for some aggression from Dig. But every escape route is being watched at the moment, and look at the aggression coming out from the other CTs as well, Vince. They're gonna push on in. The nade's gonna be tossed on in as well, and they want to finish this off here. 1 player remains, and it's all on Giraffe.
13 HP, unlucky for some, and I feel like it probably will spell a bit of unfortune for Cyberstorm Blue. Dignitas, they've reached that terminal velocity point now where even a loss of weapon means absolutely nothing. And Cyberstorm Blue, they've got to make this rifle work. They know it. They're calling their final tactical timeout. They know if they concede this, they're as good as done.
What's kind of like a bit of a throwback to what we were talking about in the first half, Vince, where we said 9-6 scoreline, Dig are going to be very happy. And we even said 12-3, they'd even take that. And honestly, even if this was a 12-3 scoreline favoring Cyberstorm, I wouldn't be surprised if Dig were still be, you know, pretty comfortable switching over to the CD side. Because right now, there is no answer from Cyberstorm on the T side here. Because Dig could literally, even if it was 12-3, they could be up, I don't know, like, you know, 14 14-12 or something of that, or something similar. It's just ridiculous how good they are on the CD side here. And also for Cyberstorm, they don't really seem to have many answers here. Again, reminding everyone, it is a map from Dig, so you expect them to be the better team here. And oh my lord, the damage, the utility damage, that is just brutal, Vince.
Oh man. Well, we said Dignitas, you had a very poor performance last time. You need to come out with a declaration of intent. I think we're getting it right now. Bouchard hiding. That's a great flick. That's actually a fantastic second shot onto Showdown, but it's a drop in the bucket. It means nothing. What I'd like to see here is a fast B hit. As good as Thea has been, you can't feasibly expect her to rummage together a 1v5 all by herself. Like, even if Elite rotates in quick, you expect that Cyberstorm Blue at least will get a bomb plant. I feel like that's going to be their best opportunity here to get any success.
Yeah, right now, though, they need more than bomb plants or just a couple of kills here, Vince. They need to win rounds. They need to win every round right now. Well, that's a good start. Bouchard opening it up, finds Showdown. Milk, though, hiding in the smoke towards E-Box. Are they aware of her position? She's still staying alive. They haven't spotted her out. Finally gets taken down in some success, but Rain is raining down pain and death from above, and she's still holding on to this bomb site.
Still 39 HP, but the smoke is going to clear, and Cyberstorm Blue somehow make it work. Timing a bit fortunate in Pop Dog, gets them the opening pick, but take nothing away from them. They explode outside of A main. They play fully behind that opening pick. Milk gets caught in the smoke. I think it was speculative spray. Then they heard they were tagging her. Wanted to finish her off before they did push onto the site. And although Elite has tons of cash at her disposal to go for this post-plant, I don't think her endeavors will prove to be too successful. Making a lot of noise. First kill comes in. Overkill into the head of Snowy. And now the smoke on the site may allow her to try and go for a bit of a sneaky defusal in there. Out into the open comes out the second player. She sticks onto the site, actually bypasses it. Don't think she realized where the bomb exactly was. Cyberstorm Blue get 10.
That was a bit unfortunate for Emily. Yeah, finally. They stopped the streak, Vince. It took a while. I think Dig won, what, 9 rounds in a row? It was 9-6, right? So yeah, they won 9 rounds in a row before finally coming to a halt. The problem here is that Dig have oodles of money. It's the Bank of Abu Dhabi in there. Look at the cash. 3 players over 10K. I think Emily was almost touching 15 or 16,000 bucks there. So they're gonna have all the money. They're gonna have all the buys in the world. They can go for anything they want, any variation, and they have 5 map and match points to close it out. Now the question is, the way they've been playing so far, they've been playing. They haven't been doing anything too crazy. It has been kind of like mid-paced aggression, right? Not too hyper-aggressive, like towards T-mid, towards Pop Dog, for example, and not really pushing down Ivy for that matter. They keep Thea towards inner. It's been a pretty standard hold so far. The question here is, if you're Dig, do you just go for the kill? Do you just press your foot down on the throat and just finish it off just by shutting it down before anything happens? Or do you continue playing what has been working out so far?
I think you've got to play to your own strengths here. If Dignitas kind of maybe alter their playstyle, that's maybe where Cyberstorm Blue come back into this game. At the end of the day, that was effectively what, 9-0 up until the point where Cyberstorm Blue won a round. So it had you successful for 9 rounds. I don't think now is the time to push the self-destruct button potentially and drastically overhaul that strat. What I would say, though, is that Dignitas are in a position now where they can be a bit more free-flowing. They could go for a bit of aggression. They know they've got a buffer of rounds. So I'd like to see them maybe get more aggressive rather than more passive and disciplined. Because Cyberstorm Blue, again, take nothing away. It was a really solid execute. They got fortunate at the start, though, with the timing working against Dignitas. So I don't think that's necessarily a play that you can rinse and repeat time in, time out and get a lot of success over.
Indeed, indeed. I feel it's a little unfortunate they didn't have a chance to play against CLG Red as well, but hold on to that thought. It's going to be a hit coming on in towards inner, and they're running in straight through the flames into the waiting arms of death. That is Thea lying in wait, shutting it down, the 4K and a USP to finish it off, and she gives the chef's kiss as well. That was a quick end, Vince, but what a way to close it out by Thea.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I did say I'd like them to see them like rush B and try and pressure her. I was expecting a bit more utility on the push Blair. They kind of just ran down ramp altogether. But take nothing away from Thea. That's a phenomenal hold. Great performance. And I think Dignitas, they can be proud of what they just did.
Oh, for sure. This is a complete turnaround from the loss they suffered against Violent Roses earlier. And if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow's matchup in the consolidation final is going to be against Violent Roses. And if this is the form Dignitas is going to be showing tomorrow, I'm excited. I am so excited for that.
A chance at revenge, Blair. But that's us done for this evening. We're going to cut to a break, and when you rejoin us, we'll be live with the desk to break down that best of 3.
It started a little bit slow, perhaps, for Dignitas, but they ended really strong here on Train. Their map pick, and they show us why, especially in that second half where they won straight 9 rounds in a row. Of course, you're still watching the DreamHack Showdown Winter. North America and Dignitas makes it through. They are on their way in a lower bracket run towards, hopefully for them, the grand finals. Of course, on the way hereby, they knock Cyberstorm Blue out. I'm here with Potter and Miss Harvey. Miss Harvey, this game, this was a weird roller coaster for me because this started very bad for Dignitas.
It did, Cyberstorm did what they had to do to be able to win map 2. They started strong. Smiley, the veteran of the team, was giving us really good rounds, and it seemed like for a little bit Dig had no answer, but then, the Dig machine turned on, and it was quite the close affair at some point, but, like I said, the Dig machine turns on, and even though the score says 16-10, it wasn't that close.
That's the doorbell, and that means we have a guest. Milk, welcome to the broadcast. First of all, congratulations. Fantastic show, and especially second half, of course, of Train. And I want to straight up ask a question not related to that game. So, that's a little bit odd, but we'll go with it anyway. You guys recently tweeted out you're both wanting to focus on Valorant and Counter-Strike, and I was wondering how that's going for you guys in terms of splitting your attention across 2 games. I think it's a very unique thing to do.
Yeah, before this tournament, we were actually focusing on Valorant, and then this tournament came out, so we're like, hey, let's go back to CS for a little bit, because we were kind of behind in Valorant. So yeah. Yeah.
And that's going good for you. Like how do you do it? Because it's obviously there are similarities, but there's definitely a lot of differences as well.
Right, we just have to keep in our head that when we're playing Valorant, it's a different game, we're playing Valorant, and when we're playing CS, we're playing CS. So it's like, yeah, it is different for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, we're really trying.
You had the best stats of the day on Dig. Over 100 ADR, if I'm not mistaken. I know you are currently in Los Angeles, not with your Hawaiian ping.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be kind of closer to a LAN situation for you?
Yeah, it feels so good to play with low ping, because I'm telling you, people who play with 100 ping in tournaments, you have my respect, because it's very difficult to play with high ping.
Yeah, to follow up on that, what are your plans, you and Dignitas as a squad, moving into 2021? As Shiver mentions, you guys are splitting your time, and as Steph mentions, the ping being an issue from Hawaii, I know that's been an ongoing thing for you here since your time on Dignitas. Are there any plans for any differences in 2021? Are you guys getting a team house? Are you moving? Anything like that?
We're definitely not getting a team house. I'm most likely going to be moving to the mainland somewhere, because it's very hard to play Valorant with high ping.
Yeah.
Hey, say hi to Ham for us. I have a question. Tomorrow, I think you're going to have the chance to, either tomorrow or the day after. Tomorrow. Okay.
Tomorrow. Yeah, you're right.
Thanks, Violet Roses. I'm all mixed up in my days again. You lost to them earlier in the tournament. Are you coming in with a different game plan tomorrow, or was it a fluke?
Oh, yes. We've fixed our mistakes. We went into the server. We've corrected all of our mistakes that happened that day. We had a really slow start. We are going to bring it. We really want to seek our revenge for them.
I can't wait to see that happen. Looking forward to seeing you play again tomorrow. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And have a great afternoon for you, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a great day.
Thanks, you guys too.
Thank you so much, Milk. And yeah, Dignitas, I mean, we talked about it before. Yes, they have sometimes a slow start, but when they show up, whoo, they show up. So I definitely think that they have a good shot of reaching that grand finals. Obviously, Violent Roses will have something to say about that, but we'll get to that later. Potter, I mean, I wanna close, this series here. Cyberstorm Blue, they are of course eliminated, but we did see a lot of glimmers of hope from them in this series.
Yeah, definitely so. It's unfortunate that their own map pick looks so poorly. I was like, damn, these ladies need to lean into Train. They need to make Train their whole map, because that first half, there were some decent moving pieces. They were very mobile. There was a T-mid pop flash play. There were rounds when they were winning, they looked dominant. And that's hard to do, especially versus an established team like Dignitas. So all things considered, I was impressed.
Yeah, and of course they unfortunately only had one chance to show us what they got, as they had to forfeit one series, but they are eliminated. Hopefully they take a lot of lessons away from today. Now, today has been a really long day. We have had a lot of games played, which means a top 5, I would imagine, would have been pretty tricky to gather here, because there were so many plays. Steph, for you, number 5.
Yeah, let's start with Petra, that 4K up on Vertigo. She just keeps getting these kills close against her opponent. It's like a kind of a bazooka for me. That's how I called it. Versus Galaxy Racer. Petra's in shape today.
Definitely in shape. And with play number 4, it's Vilga, her opposition here, in-game leading for these ladies on Galaxy Racer. And this was such a pivotal hold coming in for Vilga, even cleaning up in for that last kill. It was a 4K total. And yeah, she just initiated this retake to happen for her entire squad.
In that same matchup, we have Crossy with that 1 versus 3 that changed the whole game versus Galaxy Racer. She gets that clutch. Oof, Christine.
She was so low in this clip too. She barely had any HP. But that's just Crossy, man. Play number 2, it's Milk. We gotta highlight and talk about Milk. She was holding that W and she was beaming with confidence. This is a 4K, and this was off the back of a lurk that she got on Dust 2 all by her lonesome. Crisp headshots coming out of Milk today.
And our number 1, they might be out of the tournament, but Smiley wanted to show us that 4K on Eco on Train versus Dig, the game we just saw. Here it is, getting a double with the pistol and then picking up the AK to close that round up. What a round by Smiley.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. We also have a player of the day. Now, we had our first series was super close. We had a full 3 maps, and that also was already super close. And then we had a second series that wasn't close at all. No Fear 5 just smacked down Project C, and that reaps our player of the day, because Tori, I mean, she was going at it. She was not letting Project C have any space in that series whatsoever, Potter.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just the stats alone. She was such a standout player out of all 10 players in that server, round after round. And just, it was spectacular to watch. It was tough to figure out exactly who our MVP of the day or player of the day would be, but it just had to be Tori. She was absolutely just farming.
Yeah. She was way above everybody else on her team, and without that spectacular performance, Project C maybe would have had a better shot. But Tori this morning woke up and said, no, Project C, no.
No, indeed. And that's, it's exceptionally good for her, of course, at being the newest addition to the squad, really proving her worth. We can take a look at also the brackets where we are left after the day. We, of course, have the NA bracket to close things up with. We had Cyberstorm eliminated by Dignitas just now, and we'll have a rematch with that, with Dignitas taking on Violent Roses in the consolidation finals. And that will, of course, happen tomorrow, just like another rematch in the consolidation finals of Europe with Galaxy Racers and No Fear 5. Excited for that one as well. Oh, we're going to see the brackets of that as well. Yeah, excited for that one as well. Of course, No Fear 5, I think they learned a lot from the matchup that they had already. That being said, Galaxy Racers, Steph, they looked like they learned a lot as well from their series. They looked on fire today, even if they dropped down.
Absolutely. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow between that matchup? On paper, Galaxy Racer is coming favorite, but no fear is so good today.
They really were. Potter, any final words about today? We had a lot of maps, a lot of series. Any final thoughts?
Oh man, I am still my adrenaline's still pumping from that first series. I thought Galaxy Racer just losing it out barely, going all 30 rounds. They could have even made it into OT. So I can't wait for that rematch. Hopefully Galaxy Racer just knocks No Fear 5 out. I know I can't be biased, but I want that rematch. I want Xstep versus Galaxy Racer in the final.
Oh, I hear you. Absolutely. That series was the closest one we've had in the entire tournament so far, and it is also one that, there's a lot on the line. The best team in Europe, and it's always been Xset. I know we could talk about this for a very long time, but we have come to the end of the show, which, by the way, would not be possible if it wasn't for the US Air Force and Monster Energy. Those are our sponsors, and we're very thankful to have them on board here. And we hope that we have all you guys on board again tomorrow. We start a little bit later than today again because we got 2 series, starting with the Europe Consolidation Finals, followed by the NA Consolidation Finals. The start time of the panel will be here at 4:30 CET. Totally knew that. Absolutely. 4:30 CET, and we'll see you then.
There are pains we gotta follow, there are pains we cannot run when we're looking down the barrel of a gun. Be the hunter or the hunted, be the predator or prey. Make some noise and let the world hear what we say. 'Cause we are one. 'Cause we are one. Can't be saints, can't be sinners, can't be losers, can't be winners. We are one. Yeah, we are one. We stand united. We fight until the end. We never stop, never break, never bend. We stand united. Together rise and fall. 'Cause it's all for one, one for all. Yeah, it's all for one, one for all. It is not about surviving, either living or you're dying. Stand your ground and never ever be afraid. We can choose to make a difference, we can choose to walk away. There's a choice we make between